Hello, my name is Julio, and I'm here. My purpose is to inform, and my specific purpose is to inform about capital punishment. I know everyone knows about capital punishment. You have heard of it. You have your thoughts about it. You think you're either against or support it. And well, I'm just trying to let you know more about it so you guys can think about it, and hopefully you can make more educated decision if you're against or support it. I know you all know something about it, but do you guys know that according to an article on capital punishment by a scholar named Elliot Jones, 23 innocent people were executed in the United States in the 20th century. I mean, that's someone that wasn't supposed to die, didn't commit any crime, and they still prosecuted and executed him. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound right to me. I will first discuss by giving you points on how capital punishment helps the society, the different ways capital punishment is administrated over the years, and what reasons why capital punishment is bad for society. I'll start with my main point. Main point 1. The following information gives examples why capital punishment is good for the society. Capital punishment serves as a good deterrent. According to an article published by Professor of Economics at Emory University, Hashem conducted a judicial experiment where a panel data of 50 states during the 1960s and 2000 period were used to examine the deterrent effect of capital punishment. Hashem compared murder rates before and after changes in the state's death penalty laws. The results suggested that capital punishment has a deterrent effect, and in fact, the murder rate after the death penalty was adopted proved to be reduced. This just makes it clear why America needs capital punishment as a deterrent. I mean, if you're afraid that you're gonna die because you commit a serious crime, you'll stop doing it unless. And another point is capital punishment. Some people believe that capital punishment is a just crime and it should be only applied for serious crimes like murder, rape, and some seriousness like that. And then I'll go to my main point 2. Here are some ways capital punishment has been administrated over the past years. I'll start with you've seen hanging people on movies. There's an electric chair and there's lethal injection, which is most commonly used right now. Let's talk about lethal injection first. According to a credible website scholar, Kevin Bonsor explains how lethal injection is administered. First, the inmate is injected with a drug called fentanyl. This drug makes the inmate lose consciousness within 30 seconds. The inmate then is injected with a drug named Pavilon. This drug causes the inmate to stop breathing by paralyzing his lungs. And that's how he dies, and he doesn't feel any pain whatsoever. So that's a good way to die. Another way of capital punishment is by hanging, which was a more primitive way of killing people back in the day. Some proof of that happening is, according to an article called History Today, in the 1800s, a man named John Brown was convicted of treason and hanged. His execution was witnessed by John Wilkes Booth, who later assassinated former President Abraham Lincoln. This just proves that even in the earlier years, capital punishment has been used and is still being used today. Which leads to my third and final point. Finally, here are some ways capital punishment is bad for society. Capital punishment does not reduce crime, as everyone thinks it does. There are many different experiments done to figure out if capital punishment does indeed reduce crime rate. And according to an article published by Kevin Bonsor, California averaged 6 executions a year from 1952 to 1967, and had twice the murder rate than the period from 1968 until 1991 when there were no executions. That means that when people get the penalty, death penalty is on and people are dying, it doesn't reduce the crime rate. It just proves that. Even though it should be completely the opposite, capital punishment does not prove, according to this article and this research, that it reduces crime rates. And another reason capital punishment should be bad is because I explained yesterday, at the beginning, there were 23 people, innocent, died because of capital punishment. I mean, that just proves that our law system has many flaws, and that sometimes you get sent to jail and you stay in jail. They later figure out you were innocent by DNA or something that wasn't available back then, and they just release you. I mean, that's a good thing, but what if they killed you? How are they gonna make it up to you? That's just, I believe, a risk I shouldn't take, and we shouldn't take as a society. According to an article on the New York Times named "Innocence on Death Row," Illinois exonerated Ronald Jones for the rape and murder that was scheduled to send him to death. When DNA tests were finally performed 8 years after he was sentenced to die, they proved that the crime could not have been committed by Mr. Jones, who says that he confessed because Chicago police beat him severely. This goes to show that he was innocent and they didn't have the DNA sampling and all that, and he was convicted to death. But good thing was that they figured out before they executed him. But this will not always happen. I mean, there's people who've been executed that later found to be innocent. And this brings me to my conclusion. Today I have discussed the capital punishment with you guys, the good things about capital punishment, the bad things about capital punishment, and some ways to perform capital punishment. Today and for many years, capital punishment will be a very controversial topic for discussion, and I hope with what I've told you and my sources, you guys can think about it, and maybe even if you're against or support it, maybe think more about it and maybe strengthen if you support it strongly. If you're against it, you're more against it with strength. Thank you.